Dear students, let us calm down and think logically. We have all taken undergraduate level genetics and we know that DNA evidence is indisputable. I'm going to present 3 instances where DNA evidence proves that evolution is ongoing. My friends and I will talk about 3 mutations that occurred fairly recently in humans and have changed their traits. We are all born with a gene that breaks down lactose, a milk sugar. After we are weaned off milk, this gene would normally turn off, and it does so in many animals. Some of us humans have the lactase persistence mutation. The gene that produces the enzyme lactase in intestinal cells somehow stays switched on. This allows some humans to be able to digest milk even as adults. The mutation for lactase persistence is not evenly distributed among all the population in the world. It is at a higher concentration in European populations and scattered in Middle Eastern and Arab populations. This genetic mutation seems to have originated in Europe, where domesticated animals were raised and their milk consumed as a source of protein. The scattered mutations in Middle Eastern and Arab populations coincide with pastoral people who raise domesticated animals for, among other things, milk. The gene originated around 20,000 years ago and spread through Northern and Central Europe. Ever since, we have benefited from this mutation.
Hey, ready to climb Mount Kailash, one of the tallest mountains in Tibet? Yeah, well, I just want to try it out. My friends back home say climbing is a piece of cake. Yeah, right. How do you know? Well, my mom is a professor at the University of Tibet. Back in July of this year, her research was on DNA comparison of Tibetans and Chinese people. She found that the gene that controls red blood cell production evolved quickly in the Tibetan population to tolerate higher altitudes. A mutation in the gene that is thought to affect red blood cell production was present in only 9% of the Han Chinese population, but was found in 87% of the Tibetan population. In simpler terms, we have higher red blood cell count. We are capable of absorbing more oxygen from the environment. This mutation occurred within 5,000 years ago in the Tibetan population. Tibetans carry the gene and are able to live in altitudes around 14,000 feet above sea level. So there, I am ready. Whatever, you talk too much. Let's just start climbing. You ready? Let's go! Hey, are you okay down there? You're lagging behind. Yeah, I just have a headache, and I'm getting really tired. I feel like I'm going to fall.
Another study fueling the human evolution debate emerged in February 2009 in the American Journal of Physiology, Regulatory, Integrative, and Comparative Physiology. The study looked at Bolivian women who lived in the Altiplano region of Brazil, which according to this map would be approximately right here in the southwest corner of the country. To the right you can see some typical Bolivian women citizens, and below the lovely mountain vista that they view on a daily basis. Living in the mountains, they're at an altitude of nearly 12,000 feet in some regions, and this lack of oxygen at this altitude level can cause potential birth defects for growing fetuses. A possible adaptation in blood flow to the uterus of ancestral inhabitants of the region would be a key indicator that some evolution has occurred. This is an image of a uterus, and right here is where the uterine artery would be connected to the uterus. The study looked at 4 groups: pregnant women who lived in lower altitudes who had either Bolivian or European heritage, and pregnant women who lived in higher altitudes who had either Bolivian or European heritage. The results were absolutely stunning. For low altitude dwellers, there was simply not much of a difference throughout all the weeks of pregnancy. But comparatively, for high altitude, there was a significant difference by the 20th week of pregnancy concerning the uterine artery blood flow. The higher altitude ancestral women had far more. The study of the human genome also reveals that adaptation here likely occurred during the past 10,000 years, very recently.